Okay.
All right, so it's finished. As you can see from the complete here, you can see that the temperature has gone up a slight amount from 30. So as long as it's not going back up significantly, it should be fine. So now we're ready to take our sample out. At the current moment, there is 80 to 90 psi's of pressure within the chamber. So we want to relieve that to start. And so the way we can do that is to lower the ram. So right now, basically, the top and bottom are pressing on the sample. And so if I lower this, it's going to take that pressure off. And so I'll just lower that down. And so at that point, when you're stopped, now there's no pressure on it. So when I take off the top, there's not going to be anything catastrophic happening with that. So now I'll turn this counterclockwise, the opposite direction. You'll notice I'm wearing heat gloves because this metal piece here and the insides can be still a little bit warm. So I've got those on for safety. All right. So when you stop feeling resistance, it's as much as you can turn it off, and so then you'll have to push up a little bit to get this top portion off. All right. When we have our sample, we're going to come back and kind of clean this up a little bit. But for now, I'll just set it back here on its rest. And so now, the sample is all the way at the bottom, and so we need to raise it back up. When you're raising this back up, never stick your head above it and look down into it. If the sample gets stuck, what can happen is it gets stuck and you keep hitting up. At some point, it can eject. And so you never want to keep your head over this. Basically the same thing of you never want to stick your head in front of a gun, sort of safety there. So we'll raise this up, and you just want to make sure that it's constantly moving. So I'll just look from the side. And so I can see it moving, and so I know it's going to come up. If it's stopped, if it doesn't move when you're hitting the up button, it probably means it's too hot, and it's sticking to the sides, and so that's when bad things can happen. So if you don't notice it moving, even when you're hitting the up on the RAM control, then you might want to put the top RAM back on and switch it to manual cool, just so it runs and cools down. So right now it's just cooling that down. So I can keep this going. Doesn't really matter in that regard. But it's moving, so I'm good. And now you can see the sample coming out. So we've got our mount here. So we're all good to go. So this is set. So you're ready to move on to the other steps in your procedure, but you've got the mounted sample. And the last things we need to do here, just like we did at the beginning, make sure everything's clean. You can kind of notice some white residue from the mold release. So we can either take a paper towel, if that works, or if there's pieces that are more stuck on, you can use the same spatula to kind of remove those stuck on pieces from all of the sides here. So clean up the bottom ram, the side walls if there's anything there, and then also don't forget about this. So anything that's there, make sure that you wipe that off for the next use. When that's done, when you've got it all clean, then you'll want to kind of do the opposite procedure of how we started. So instead of, we'll turn this off. So again, back right. The control panel should go off. We'll also want to turn off the air so that it's perpendicular to the pipe. And then turn off the water hose, the sink over here on the left. And that will be the shutdown procedure when you're done for the day.